once I feel like I'm important.
Oh, this brings me joy. Now, I feel personally targeted for this episode because I've been saying since day one how underutilized and such wasted potential Millie has been. Now, did this episode fix every problem that I have with her? No, but it's a darn good start. While Blitz is off looking for his sister Barbie Wire, Moxie and Millie take a hit job at a summer camp for the week. Even though Millie was able to sniff out the obvious suspect, she lets Moxie go along with his precisely thought out plan anyway. But ultimately that fails because everyone at camp is smitten with Millie and her amazing skills. Millie even gets her first song this episode, like, yes, she is winning! Now, to be frank, I was getting a bit nervous that we were gonna get another retread of the Harvest Moon Festival episode when Millie was telling Moxie to just do your best, do what you're good at. But that just made him look like an attention-craved freak. Moxie is a theater kid at heart. He's all about the showmanship, but he's also a tactical planner. So for his plans to go off the rails this hard, it puts him on edge. Moxie's plan to interrogate each suspect one by one was quickly uprooted by Millie just being her awesome self. His jealousy led the happy couple to have their first on-screen argument, where Millie is feeling appreciated for who she is by others for once. And gotta say, for as much as I love seeing the M&Ms being a happy, loving couple, and they're so healthy, it did get boring after a while. It's like, come on, they never fight over anything, not even something petty or something small. Like, come on, no one's that perfect, even in hell. Millie straight up tells Moxie that if he had just listened to her from the get-go, they would be done with this job already. But no, she let him have his way again to make him feel better about himself. Millie is constantly a stream of support for Moxie and whatever bullshit he wants to do. But where is any of that for Millie, huh? Like I've been saying, huh? Thankfully, Moxie listened and learned for once that it can't always be about him and gives Millie the support she's been desperately needing throughout these entire seasons. Meanwhile, Blitz gets a lead to where his sister is after checking herself out of rehab, and when you know it, she's at the same camp where the M&M's target is at. So while Millie wows the crowd, it also works as a great distraction for Moxie and Blitz dealing with Barbie and the teen she tricked into helping her peddle drugs. There's some clear unresolved issues Blitz has with Barbie since she wants nothing to do with him, which we didn't really learn all too much about. She came, she went. But that's all small meats and potatoes. Now let's talk about the real highlight of this episode. Millie! I can't believe I finally get to say something like that. At first, I didn't believe it. It was too good to be true. But we got it! We finally fucking got a full-fledged, bona fide Millie episode! I think it still should have happened sooner rather than later. But you know, something is better than nothing because Millie was playing to her strengths right here. The campers fanned over her, but to Millie, she was just doing simple things. Being her naturally athletic, smart, and jack-of-all-trades Blade self. This episode felt like a true appreciation of Millie, and kind of an apology for leaving her character out of the story for so long, and hinting to Millie having self-confidence issues, because everyone cheering for Millie made her feel good about herself. For a character who's such a badass as Millie, you'd think she wouldn't have much problem with that, but it's one thing to hear people say how great you are, and it's another to actually believe it for yourself. I like that. It gives Millie some flaws, some depth. I've been looking for this kiddie pool of a character. I knew she had great potential. We just had to hammer it out of her. Oh, but Millie telling off Moxie was extremely satisfying because the writing finally addresses the Millie problem Helluva Boss has been having since the end of season 1. That she doesn't stand out on her own. That all she is some country girl defined by her marriage and being the support Moxie always needs. Their argument was all the more telling of how Millie has been getting shafted as a character. While it's been the Moxie and Blitz show for some time now, Millie voicing her frustration with Moxie's lack of support because the other campers make her feel important speaks volumes of my own frustrations for her lack of character development. I've made numerous videos and comments on how I feel about Millie's lack of use throughout Helluva Boss. And for good reason. It's bad enough that the female characters have to play second fiddle to their male counterparts in the show, but Millie had it the worst, because while Moxie got episode after episode diving into his own insecurities and interpersonal relationships, giving fans even more to fill out on the Helluva wikis, what did Millie get? Nothing! Oh, when we meet Moxie's family, it's clearly a Moxie episode, but Millie's? That's Moxie's too! As loving as these two are, their screen time is very much give and take. Millie gives support, and Moxie takes up the damn screen. And although this episode doesn't answer some stuff about Millie that we should know by now, like what's her relationship like with Blitz and Luna, it was definitely overdue and a step in the right direction. This episode was cathartic as hell for Millie fans, and I really hope moving forward it gets better from here, and that they don't backtread her character like they're doing Luna. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, bye!